Hello, world. How's everyone doing today? Or this evening, rather, I should say. I hope everyone is well. Sorry, I kind of kept moving the times a little bit further and further. I had some things to do, but there was a couple time changes. So I do apologize for that. But I like if I say 7. I don't like to usually be late. I know some people are like an hour late even, but I always just try to change the time. I apologize though, but hope everyone is doing well. Hey Bex, good to see you. Um, Becca, good to see you. Amy, hi. Jess, Carol, NH, good to see you. For Slightly, hi. Cynthia, hey, Brookie, Sundown Farms. It's great to see everyone. So, we're going to talk about a young man named Dylan Rounds. Um, and this case is, it seems to be getting bigger and bigger as time does go on. And just a very interesting young man who really, I mean, he just, he was a young farmer, and like I always say, it takes so many different types of people to make up this world. We need farmers, we need uh, dishwashers, we need people who clean, we need just everybody, and everybody is important. It takes everyone to do these types of jobs. And I always say, like they say, no farm, no food. And I really appreciated Dylan. I appreciate our farmers, first of all, and especially our young farmers who want to do that. I mean, it is kind of a newer, it's a new age, so to speak. Um, but it's just really, it was just really interesting to me. There's all the media and flashy jobs out there and all that, but he just wanted to farm, and not only that, he wanted to farm in a place where farming is not very popular in the middle of the desert. But he wanted, uh, Amy, I agree, non-GMO organic farmers, absolutely. Don't get me started on that, Amy, because I will, I always say it costs 3 times the price right now to eat better, to eat healthy, rather than buying junk, so it's so weird, it's so interesting to me that where we live in society right now, where you can get a whole hamburger for $1, whatever, but if you want to, a bag of organic apples, you're going to pay, you know $6 or more. So anyway, that's a whole nother subject that I am passionate about. If y'all ever want to talk about it, just let me know and we will talk about it. Um, but yeah, okay, so here we go. Let's get started with Dylan Rounds. I'm going to try to come back later tonight, um, and do a thing on Summer Wells. Can't promise, but I really want to. Um, so let me pull it up here. All right. So here we have Mr. Dylan Rounds. He is lived in Lucin, Utah. Now, um, Lucin, Utah was a uh, it's basically an abandoned town where virtually no one lives. Um, and Dylan and his family bought 600 acres, and he wanted to develop the entire valley, which, to be his age, as young as he is, that is a very ambitious goal, and by develop, I mean, I think he means agriculture. Um, but he was last seen May 28th, 2022. All right. Pardon me. So Dylan grew up in Idaho with his younger brother and sister. Justin Rounds, which is Dylan's father, said that Dylan was about 4 years old uh, he when he and Candace divorced. The kids then split between their families between Idaho Falls, where Justin, Dylan's father, lives, and Twin Falls, which is where Candace lives, which is Dylan's mother. So as you can see here, there's a picture of Dylan Rounds on. He is a cutie pie X, yeah. Just a nice little all American dude, and this has been his dream since the beginning, pretty much. Um, for a lot of us, we don't know what we want to be, when we're so young, but then there are some of us that we know from the get-go. So Idaho life meant outdoor life. Justin said the family would often go fishing and dirt biking, but those activities came second to what Justin says is the most important part of Idaho living: farming. Justin said that almost every conversation he had with Dylan is about farming. He's just done that his whole life. That's all he ever thought about, says Justin. He's one of those kinds of people that when he was born, that he was born to be a farmer, says Candace Cooley. She stated, quote, "The kid could drive a tractor before most kids knew how to ride a bike." Now, this is a photo from Justin and Candace interviewing with Nick Eaton from East Idaho News. If you guys haven't watched that interview, I would highly, highly suggest it. It's very informative. So here's a picture of Dylan. He was he was an old soul, as we say, and just a photo of him trying to get out the old truck from the snow as a younger man, teenager. All right. My parents don't want to believe he is gay, so maybe that's why this. Um, I mean, I hear you, Martha. There is, yes, Shannon, thank you so much. If you guys will please hit that like button, I would greatly appreciate it. Um, I just did a Facebook group. Please join. I literally just made it like today. Um, and we have a Twitter now. So please join those or tag us in something. We can continue the conversation over there on certain topics, or if there's a way you need to get in touch with me. And so, yeah. So I'm just taking a drink before I get started. Hey, Grits and Fluffy, good to see y'all. All right. So in 2019, Dylan was finally able to get a farm of his own in Lucin, Utah, which is right on the Utah-Nevada border. Justin said his father, Dylan's grandfather, purchased the land with Dylan, who spent his days cultivating the crop and his nights living alone in the camper on the property. It's a sandy desert, Candace said, describing Lucin. It's literally people who want to be off the grid. Most people who live in Lucin want to get away from the government or people. So Lucin, I mean, people there, the people that do live there are they're kind of remind you of like gypsies, vagabonds, that kind of thing. Thank you, Vet Girl. Good to see you, dear. His first uh his first crop he planted this year. Yes, you're exactly right. So you remember number 9, Jen. Woohoo! You can say that as it gets bigger. You remember number 9. All right. All right, here we go. This year was his first crop. Candace said that Dylan's farm had to be built from the ground up. There was a lot of preparation that needed to be done. Justin said that while the farm was Dylan's top priority, his son would often return to Idaho and stay with either of his parents due to lack of running water in his camper. I mean, guys, when they bought this property, it was literally just desert. I mean, it's not like there wasn't like utilities or you know anything out there. I mean, we are talking real. I mean, I don't know if like a desert's considered wilderness, right? But you know, definitely off the grid, out of it's a place where there's no reason to go there unless, like Dylan, he has a project there and he wants to build, agriculture in the desert, which is just amazing. We need young, forward people like him uh, to try to think of ways to, you know, create a great crop, but with less water. Um, you know, the Colorado River, it's, going down very quickly. So here's a picture of Dylan in his overalls. On May 26th, however, uh, Dylan wasn't visiting with either one of his parents, but he did speak with with them on the phone. He was so excited, Candace recalled. He said, "Mom, I'm getting my first crop this year." Justin remembers speaking to Dylan that day too. He was talking about the different types of tractors that he was running. Justin said the service was spotty. That was the last time Justin and Candace ever spoke to their son. So, where is Dylan Rounds now? Look at some of your comments. Justice, did they watch Heavy D video on Dylan? I did not. No. I'm sorry, I don't know who that is, but so, I hope they do. Yes, hey, little dove. Um, I'm sure I see we'll drop it in there. Yeah, she'll drop it in there for sure. Okay. Hello. Okay, the last time Dylan was seen in person was on May 26th at a pub in Montello, Nevada, which is about 30 miles west of his home. He made a call to a close relative on the morning of May 28th, but hasn't been heard from since. So today is June 26th. So literally almost a month of nothing, radio silence from Dylan. And he's a young kid. He has a farm. That's what he was passionate about. He would never, ever, run away or anything like that. And we're going to get into a lot of suspicious things that is going on around his property and around the area. I mean, just imagine living literally, you know, 30 miles from anyone. Like nothing, not a house even. On Monday, May 30th, Candace said she received an alarming call from J.D. Wild, Dylan's best friend. Candace said JD informed her that no one heard from Dylan since Saturday. She says, I instantly knew we had a problem, says Candace. I mean, nobody knows, for a single young male at that age, nobody knows you better than your mama, generally, or your parents. Yes. Candace says it was extremely unusual for Dylan to go so long without speaking to anyone. Dylan breaks his phones. He loses phone chargers. Sounds like me, Candace said. But he shows up at his father's house or my house within a matter of hours to get a spare one. Candace said, since nor, since she or nor her ex-husband had seen their son, she immediately thought something bad might have happened. Later that day, Candace reported Dylan missing, and they immediately began to search. The boots were found within the first hour, Candace said on Dylan's property. Candace told East Idaho News reporter Nate Eaton that the boots were, quote, behind a pile of dirt, end quote. Or sorry, yeah, just casually tossed out. She noted that Dylan was particular about his boots. He wears a pair, and it's always the same pair. When they wear out, he goes and buys exactly the same boots. He was a creature of habit, of routine. So officials found the boots about 100 yards south of where Dylan's grain truck was parked, from which Candace says is the opposite direction from the camper. Quote, our hearts stopped, Candace said. A kid doesn't go walking in the desert without his boots. Justin says that finding his son's boots like that threw everyone for a loop. Quote, our brains were going a million different directions, he said. We didn't know what to do. According to the report, Nate Eaton, Candace told East Idaho News that detectives found a, quote, spot of blood on the boots, and they would be sent for the lab for testing. East Idaho News said that the family was told, quote, police were hanging on to the boots in case cadaver dogs needed them for a scent. Just unimaginable. That's every parent's worst nightmare. Every parent's worst nightmare. You're looking for your kids, you find the boots that he's wearing and there's blood on it. Your blood would run cold. And then just hearing the word cadaver dogs as a parent, unimaginable. Unimaginable. So police were hanging on the boots in case cadaver dogs were needed for the scent, which is why they were not sent for testing until a week later. East Idaho News also reported that Dylan's wallet and phone are missing, but everything else seemed normal on the farm. Everything but Dylan's maroon Ford pickup truck. So, Justin, you seen Crimes Fashion video today? No, I don't know who that is. They told used they could have used. Yeah, that's true. I agree with that. They just needed a scent. He was the only one that's staying in that camper, which he Justice Cheney, good to see you. Which, to me is, you think they could have gotten. No, 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 no. They didn't find clothes. What they're saying is, someone in chat was saying they could have gotten clothes, in the camper or something. So Candace says it looked like the truck had been pressure washed and that the seats had been moved. Candace told Nate Eaton on East Idaho News that because she's only 4'11 and Dylan is 5'11, she always has to move the driver's seat up. But Candace said when she looked in Dylan's truck on May 30th, the seat, quote, was scooted up to the point I didn't even have to move to drive it. Now, think about that. This happens in a lot of crimes with cars. I don't know why they didn't that girl. I don't know why. I think it was potentially a lack of experience out there, in my opinion. But now that other authorities are involved, I think the parents, hey, sweet Sativa, how are you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. Um, yes, in my opinion, the tailgate is so clean, meaning tailgate down if someone is cleaning the bed of a truck. Yes, I agree. I totally agree with that. But, a lot of times when people who murder someone and move their car, um, yeah, yes, they did. But I was just talking about what somebody else was talking about. I'm sorry. Just want to make it clear. Um, so, a lot of times when there's an incident with cars and someone's stealing it or whatever, and there's a murder, you're generally not the same height as the person you're going after. Everyone's different, right? So they're in such a rush, they don't forget to change the seat back. And that's a very important clue. You can kind of get a little bit of a gauge about whoever was driving the car, potentially, their height. I agree, Cinnamon. I agree. Yes, now the FBI is involved. That is true. And, I'm really happy about that. Candace added that Dylan's truck was in four-wheel drive, but that was a feature of the truck that did not work. Candace told Nate Eaton that everyone in their family knew that four-wheel drive wasn't working because Dylan often complained about not being able to use the feature and having to drive his truck without it. There was some fishy stuff going on, Candace said. On top of the red flags involving Dylan's truck, she also said that it had rained the weekend before Dylan was reported missing, but there was no mud on his tires. There's no tracks, nothing. Candace said that she is extremely frustrated with how her son's case is being handled. She said, uh, although authorities have been helpful with the search, she feels like Dylan's case is being pushed to the side. They just left us out there with no assistance, no help, no guidance, she said. Justin shares Candace's frustration. He says, quote, they never answer the phone, Justin said about the Box County Sheriff's Office. They started helping out, I think, last Friday. Now, um, it's very frustrating for anybody what they're going through, and let alone when they're not getting help from police, or the police are so inexperienced that they don't even call in for the bigger guns. um, and this is no fault to Dylan's parents or anything, but they was up there, busting out the back of the windows and uh, everything else like that. So it's just crazy, you know, desert, dry wilderness. That's a good way to put it, Martha. That's a good way to put it. Yes. So Candace says uh, that since Dylan's farm is on the Utah-Nevada border, the Elko Police Department is in Nevada is also assisting with the search. The Elko County Sheriff's Department uh, posted a press release on June 9th, 2022, which confirmed Dylan was last seen in Montello before his disappearance on May 26th, that he ate at a local establishment and then returned to Utah. Montello, Nevada is about 30 minutes away from the farm Dylan lived in Lucin. The release adds that the cell phone data was used to track Dylan's phone around his farm near Lucin, Utah. It goes on to say that the quote last cell phone communication from Dylan's phone was on the 28th of May near his farm in Box Elder County, and that officials would confirm that the phone was made from the farm based off his cell phone data. So the last time we have evidence of Dylan's phone being on and probably him being with the phone was May 28th on his farm, right? According to the release, the Elko County Sheriff's Office are directing people to Box Elder County in this case. They also noted that they are providing them with resources they need to help to find Dylan. Candace says that the Weber County Sheriff's Office in Odin, Utah, also provided their resources. They had a cadaver dog. They brought the chopper, Candace said. They did an amazing job with the area. But Candace said some of the most valuable help has been from their own community. of people dedicated to helping bring Dylan home. He had been 250 to 300 people out there helping, Candace says. Justin and I both have a very large support group. Isn't the desert beautiful? You know, there's so much beauty in all different parts of life. You know, you can find beauty in deserts and forests, everything. It's so beautiful. You think so? I know a lot of people, um, but you know, I mean, Dylan is a young kid. He may have also had money on him uh, that you know the vagabonds out there, or people who don't have a lot. They could have robbed him. There could have been another ill motive or something. I mean, I understand that there is people that's questioning even the parents, but I don't think it's them personally, but I could be wrong. I don't know, but I mean, just to do that to your flesh and blood over land, which for the her dad gave her son, and she didn't get the land or money. Wow. He was rumored. Yes, yes. I have heard that, Deborah Ann. I have heard that. Not too many people kill for land like that. I think, yeah. Okay. Sorry, I needed a vape. Candace said she also runs the quote Find Dylan Rounds Facebook. I urge you guys to go over there and look around, and it's a great way to keep up with the latest as well. The Facebook page to share updates in this case, information about search parties, and photos of Dylan. She emphasized that there are currently no fundraisers open for her son. Dylan is 19 years old, 5'11", 160 pounds, with dark brown eyes, dark brown hair. Candace says he typically wears blue jeans and a flannel shirt and a ball cap. He did not walk away from his lifelong dream, Candace says, referring to his first crop on his farm. Dylan has no drug abuse, no substance abuse, no mental issues, no depression, no suicidal thoughts, nothing, she says. Now, we can also, to play devil's advocate here with Dylan's mother, I mean, I don't know Dylan. She could be absolutely right. But we don't know always if someone has mental illnesses, has suicidal thoughts, has depression, or has substance abuses, um, especially when they're older and they can do what they want. She says, quote, I mean, everybody loved him. The family is offering a $20,000 reward for any information regarding Dylan's whereabouts. That has now went up. I don't, with the FBI and everything, I think it's like 50,000 or 100,000. I don't know. Anyone with information about Dylan Rounds is asked to contact the Box Elder County Sheriff's Office at area code 435-734-3800. 435-734-3800. I don't think she is involved. 100, it's 100 grand. Okay, thank you, Dave. People are so trust. That is so true, Vet Girl. I mean, I trusted a lot more people when I was younger than I do today. Uh, if this young spoke of money or anything of value, this could be some. It really could. It's very possible. Um, Perhaps he had a secret life, did not want his family to know, and so that's very well possible too. Now, Dylan's dad, he does talk about he had kind of a tiff a couple years ago with a guy that was helping out Dylan. And I think it was like a group text message or whatever. But Dylan kept saying that, he kept taking up for the guy. So Justin says that's the only thing that he could, that's the only thing that he thought he could. I mean, there is rumors that Dylan uh, could be gay or, he's very young, still finding out who he was. Um, I mean, they may not approve or whatever, but, just say, for instance, he had ran away because of his quote secret life, right? They would have, you know, I'm sure they would say, we don't care about your life, just come back, right? I mean, just a good little guy. Raybird. Why was it so much work to get Summer's reward to what it is over the last year and others missing within weeks get it? I don't know, Raybird. I really don't. Yes, that's very true, Cindy. Very, very true. Oh, they're Mormon? I did not know they were Mormon. I mean, I'm not surprised being in Utah and Idaho, right? But, Dylan could have met someone and, you know, or he could have even, maybe potentially even flirted with the wrong person or whatever. He was taking, I mean, that's possible as well. But it's also just possible people kill for no reason. Oh, that's okay, Teresa. When a kid goes missing, there shouldn't be a need to ask permission to search people's property. Seriously, I'd be in. But Lori, I mean, I personally agree. If you have nothing to hide, let them look, right? But some people they really they just really don't want anybody on their property. Maybe they're doing illegal stuff on their property. Maybe they don't want them to find something, but I don't know. Oh God, Jen, that PI. I'm just not going there with that guy. Do you know, if I'm correct on who that PI guy is, I think he was on another channels before, and it didn't go very well. Yeah. Kind of weird for such a young man to want to live in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, but why do people, do the things that they do? Some people, I mean, maybe Dylan wanted to. Dylan had a project. He had a purpose for being out there. Uh, he did have a purpose for being out there. His purpose was to farm. He wanted the challenge of showing that crops could grow in the middle of the desert and you could have profit still. Oh, Jen, if it's the same PI, which I think it was, I can't promise that, but if it was, I definitely held my own. Some people don't like people, and yeah, I mean, some people don't like people and just want solitude. But to me, uh, all right, Adrian, boy, he if that, oh, the PI, man, I don't. I mean, I think Dylan's, in my opinion, if it's the same PI that I'm talking about, this guy, to give him credit, he has found some real things. And, you know, but it's more of, with him, it's more of, he's not, it is the same one, Jerry. You know what? Okay. Yeah, in my opinion, he's just a real piece of work. But I mean, he's very aggressive, which can be a good thing if you need information. Um, but I don't understand the aggression toward the people trying to help. Thank you, CR, for your super sticker. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. That's the one I'm talking about, Cynthia. That's exactly the one I was talking about. Yeah, and uh, it got very heated with him. His personality is best served out there with the locals to get the info. That's exactly right. I agree. I agree. PI was fired. He was fired, Jan. He was fired. When did this happen? I mean, if he really was fired allegedly, um, it wouldn't surprise me. When was he fired? Last week? Oh my goodness. Um, that's exactly right. In my opinion, Adrian's opinion, he was arrogant. He was asked not to. Well, I mean, to be honest with you, he said some off the cuff things to me. So that I was like, check yourself. He was fired but got full payment and will stay on the case if needed. I am so glad. I'm so glad. I just don't like. I'm willing to give anybody a second chance or whatever, right? But I just don't get. I mean, there's just people. Yes. There are people out there that are just naturally, I want to say, they don't really jive well with other people. Yes. I mean, has he found things? Absolutely. But also, someone said that he was making allegations, which may or may not, allegedly. But, you can't be doing that if that's what actually happened. I can't remember what case we were. I think it was the Gabby Petito case that we was talking to that PI. But let me tell you something. If you're ever chasing fame, don't be an asshole to anybody when you're trying to go up the ranks or whatever. I know some, so a couple celebrities, I would say, and uh, none of them are assholes. Now, whenever you're Tom Cruise and you're established or whatever like that, then if you need to be an asshole, be an asshole, right? But uh, you're not going to get there. Nobody gets there being an asshole. Justin, it was the military girl. Really? Was that it, Debbie? She was found in a car park in her car. Just the alibis in the last comment. We find it. Holy shit. There's stuff going on right now with this case right now. Heavy FBI presence on scene. Oh my god. I see you. Dig. Find me a link. Hold on. Let me look around and see what I can find if there's any live. I wonder if they found him. I don't see nothing about him right now. Let me check Twitter. Okay. Something big could be going down. FBI on scene. The Dylan Rounds case. The following. Hold on 1 second. I need to mute this for 1 second. But when I'm looking, we're looking right now. FBI has a large area tarped, roped off, and a no-fly zone. They found him. They must have found him then. They must have found him. Let me go to the Facebook group and I'll pull it up for everybody. Um, this is the Dylan Rounds Facebook group. I'm going to show everybody. Missing. See if they have anything recent. They don't have. Saw this comment posted on Nadine's. We're checking it out. I don't know. I swear I saw this kid driving by me in a truck today. I even said it out loud. It looks like not in Rupert, Idaho. Oh, I don't think he's driving. I don't think that's it. 6 hours ago. Let's see here. Let me look. Okay. So here we go. They are, let me get this comment off there. They're circling, they was circling an area earlier. This is the flight pattern. Right? So they were circling this area. Generally, when they're circling an area, got on the case. They could be. They could be. They could be just using, just their advanced equipment. But, we don't know. Here's so they are using this kind of plane. And they just kept circling around. Why would they keep circling around? It's very interesting. No, Jerry. When you see this, this is the actual plane. It it's a circle of where it was flying. Actual. Well, Truth Seeker, he definitely, probably, definitely knows more than us because he was there. So nobody's arguing that. There are 3 people missing out there. And to be honest with you, there could be a lot more people out there uh, that. Let me make sure. Let's see if I'm that are buried, hidden. It would be a great place, to hide someone. Okay, I got something. I think here. Hold on. Let me just share this. The FBI has indeed secured the area. I mean, anything is possible. Anything is. they may have known something. What is this? So there are no organized search this weekend to allow for further investigating by official authorities. We won't be hearing investigation updates until they have some solid information to report to the public. So when we must remain patient and allow for a thorough investigation to be done without putting in jeopardy by running with rumors and speculation. I know it is human nature to want to tell your theory of what happened to Dylan, and I want the members to be able to discuss his disappearance. I just want everyone to be mindful. His family does read this page, so keep it respectful. I am still working on a fact. Be patient with me. I have a big family to keep happy. Okay, blah, blah, blah. I will answer the questions 5,000 times if it leads to bring Dylan home. But let his family focus on the search and the investigation. That's his actual camper there. Um, okay, let me see if there's any more. Let's see if there's anything else here. Update on the FBI. Here, I'll show it to you. So the FBI are reportedly hauling things away from Dylan Round's farm and have cordoned areas off with crime scene tape. Sounds like they found something significant to the investigation. Okay. Hmm. I mean, just to be honest, I'm not sure anybody thinks this is going to turn out good. Um, you find a young man's boots that that's all he ever wears. You don't go barefoot in the desert. And he came in clutch in the later rounds. What the fuck's that? Uh, but so let's see here. I wonder what I mean, Denise. It's possible. Yeah, I don't think I think his mother said the FBI removed stuff when she did the interview. Yeah, they did remove things, but you know, if there is a no-fly zone that some people are reporting, um, and there is a tent, a no-fly zone, and it's taped off. Just to be honest, it doesn't sound too good. Uh, that's what I was trying to find. Hell, who would be the local news for news stations near? Let me see this. See if I can And Fox 13. Let's see if they got or KSLT. They're usually pretty good. Three children dead after. Okay, I'm not seeing anything there. Dylan Rounds. I'm not. I mean, if you guys find anything, you can email me at alljustice the letter or the number 4 the letter U at Gmail. Okay, Chuck, you said. Okay, Justin. So if you're ever heard of the slabs, because it's kind of like that in the area, and it's like Mad Max on meth in the. So that's a drug. 420, Chuck. Mad Max on meth. I don't know what that is. That a drug? I've never. Okay, Slab City is in California. Okay, I'm like, is that a drug? Sorry. Okay, Slab City. Okay, look what I just searched. What is Slab City, or Slab City, Utah, and it shows this: a woman with tattoos all over her and like cuts. I'm like, is that crocodile stuff? God, Slab Town. Mad Max Thunderdome movie. I have no idea what y'all are talking about. They really are, Mother Bear. They really are. They're basically lawless, and that's the way people want them to be. Um, they can go out and do anything they want. Um, it's the way these tweakers behave when they go out to the desert and hide. And yeah, yeah. I mean, it's basically lawless. There's no government involved. Yeah, it seems like quite the place. Yeah. He's saying the area is covered with meth heads, so that area Dylan is in. Yeah. Well, I mean, look here. I got videos of Slab City, Utah. Look what comes up. They even shoot on site. I don't know. The mom said everyone was packing. Yeah, it kind of is, Amy. It kind of is. I mean, I guess, you are the law out there. You put the law in your own hands, it seems like. Probably. All right, let me see if anything's updated on Twitter. Okay. Okay. Here's a little bit of an update. Allegedly. So, Cat Lover 33 says huge FBI presence around a grain silo taped off with crime scene tape in Dylan Round search. Okay. I mean, if this is the updated flyer. So about an hour ago, Twitter started talking about there is potentially um, something going on the property. For those of you that's just coming in, Dylan Rounds, FBI is on scene. We did show some flight patterns that they were searching earlier. Of course. Okay. Let's see here. People said they have checked the machinery 1,000 times. They've checked. Well, what did he keep his grain in then? A body was found. It is an older man from Las Vegas. Where's that at, girl? Girl Friday. A grain truck. Okay. He had a grain truck. Hmm. Interesting. Let me see if I can find anything else on. Anybody else has anything? 6 hours ago. Okay. Okay. Let's see this. Pardon me. Info on FBI was searching when mob crew was there in the last couple of days. Possible crime scene ? Believes there were near the grain shed, which may be where the crime scene tape was mentioned in another post earlier. Also gives some info on a convo with PI Jim Terry, comparing stories they heard while out searching. He agrees with the PI on details they discuss privately, not on video. That's from Brandy Owens, Facebook. Jim Terry will also be on No Thanks channel tonight at 10. Okay, let's see here. I don't know. Crap, where'd it go? So is the PI still on the case? I mean, some of the locals will talk, I'm sure. Oh, okay, here we go. What? No. What's this? There was an open grave out on Skull Valley. I was investigating last time I was out there in March. Maybe go check to see if it was uncovered and occupied. Seen you guys are pretty close to that place and dug around June of last year. It's been quite a few since I can afford a truck to drive out in Skull Valley. Well, that is crazy. Look at that, guys. Huh. Let me just dig a grave out in the middle. He's going to be on at 11. Okay. Wow. You know, the desert never talks. Yeah, I think I think you're right. Oh, so it's his mother was he was getting some information. Okay. Um. So now, Doug, he's in California. So I don't know if it's his 11 p.m. or our 11 p.m. Okay. Thank you, Chuck. Let me see here. If I can find anything else. This is very new. We wasn't expecting this while we were doing a live about him. Twitter's usually pops it off first. Join the okay. Let's see what these. Okay. Two hours ago. Don't see a lot. Guys, the more you wait, the harder you are to kidnap. Stay safe and eat cake. Just a word of wisdom for today. You're welcome in advance. Okay, let's see. Gravel digging, just as I was going to ask you about another case. Which case is that? Helen, he usually does make his rounds. Okay, so I am going to jump off, and if anything else occurs between anytime, I will. A silo is a tall, round. Yes, yes, but they can. There's modern. There's grain buildings and everything like that. Yeah, I mean, truthfully, Dark Horse, I'm just not a fan. But um, that is a good question, Amy. I don't know how far along she is. Let me think. Remind me about that. I'm gonna try to find something on that. That's a good question. Cinnamon, I haven't seen any silos on his property, but you know, so I had a dog uh, several years ago, and his name was Silo. So, okay, guys. Well, I love you all. I'll be back uh, later, I'm sure. And if anything pops off between now and when Doug goes live, I'll come back, uh, or I'll come back either way. Okay? Love you all. Silos look like a wood barn. No, silos are generally like a tall thing, and it's usually got like a dome on top of it, and it's where you keep all of the corn or grains and stuff like that. So, okay. All right. I will talk to you guys soon. Love you all.